Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope your day is going wonderful. Thank you so much for joining me. Well, today I am super excited. For all you beginner card makers out there, I have a kit for you. This is from Spellbinders and it's called Santa and Friends. It is a beginner card kit. It makes creating cards super easy, so it's great children friendly. The size of this is not much bigger than the A2 size card, so it's great for stocking stuffers. And if this Christmas break, if you want to do some crafting with the kiddos, this is a perfect kit for that. Everything you need to create 10 cards is in this kit, and we're going to take a look at everything that's in here. Now there's no stamps, there's no inks, and there's no die cutting involved. Everything is there for you. But what makes this kit super special is it's an interactive kit. So there's lots of, if you guys know the Spellbinders card kit of the month and know that Dancing Santa, how I fell in love with it, you're going to love this too, because this one has dancing Santas, dancing reindeers, and dancing elves. And it's die cut for you, which makes it easy. This is your die cut pack. We're going to use every single one of the items in that die cut pack today for our 10 cards. You get an embellishment. These are fashion silver embellishments. Great for the holiday season. And you get one full sheet of journey squares. These are foam adhesive squares that you just peel and stick to pop up your images, which makes it super easy. And there's lots and lots of there. And then you get your 10 pre-scored and folded card bases. Now these are A2 in size, which means they're standard note card size. They're 4 1/4 inches by 5 1/2 inches, and they're folded, ready to go for you. And then they also included your 10 envelopes in this kit. Now that blue paper, I'm not sure if everyone will get that in their kit. It was just maybe a separator, I'm thinking. So I'm not going to use that blue cardstock, but you also get your tape runner, which is a fantastic taper. It's an easy glide adhesive runner from Fun Stamper's Journey, and it's a full-size one too, guys. So that's everything in the kit. We are going to go ahead and look at the embellishments and the die cut pieces here, and again we're going to use every single one of them for my 10 cards today. So if you guys want to get the kit, follow along and create some cards with the kiddos, I think that would be super fun. In this package you get 3 images of the elf, the reindeer, and Santa. Now there's full images, and so you would just add them to your card projects. You get 3 season's greetings banners and 3 Merry Christmas banners. You also get lots and lots of word bubbles that have fun sentiments that you can add next to your cute little elves and reindeer and Santas. And then you have these guys up here. These guys are separated. You get the legs, and then you also get the top part of the body. Now these are what create your dancing Santa, and it's super easy. You get the 3 elves, 3 reindeers, and then 3 Santas. So you get 3 bottom parts, 3 top parts. And then you also get lots and lots of stars for embellishments. In that die cut pack, you'll see the circles. The circles are actually the pieces that go for the bottom half of your dancing images. Okay, so we're going to set everything aside, and we are going to dive into our first card. Now, you don't have to do this. You can make your card projects without it, but I wanted to bring in a little extra color to make it my own. Just taking everything out of the package, setting them aside, and then we are going to open up our tape runner, have this ready to go, and then I'm also going to bring in 5 pieces of cardstock. I figured everybody has some cardstock, so if you want to go through your cardstock stash, these are card front panels, which means they're the size by 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. So I have a pale blue, a white, a brown, and then I have a red and a green panel. We're going to use every bit of these panels for all 10 cards today, and the only thing you really need is a pair of scissors. So super duper easy to do, and they have kid safety scissors out there too if you wanted to throw that in the package for a stocking stuffer. I think that would be adorable, and you can have a little craft along. I think that'd be fun. So what we're going to do is take our colored cardstock and we're going to go ahead and trim them down right away. We're going to start off with this blue piece. I'm going to hold it sideways and cut it right down the middle. So we're going to have 2 blue pieces here. Next, I'm going to take my green and my red piece, and we are going to cut this down lengthwise into 2 different pieces. So we have 2 long pieces of the red and then 2 long pieces of the green cardstock. Okay, so those are ready to go. Next, we are going to trim down this brown piece, and I'm going to go from corner to corner, creating 2 triangles, well, almost triangles. We're going top left, bottom right. Next, we're going to take our white piece of cardstock. We're going to trim it in half. Now with this, since we have a wintry scene with lots of Santas and reindeers and elves, we're going to need lots of snowbanks. So I'm taking this piece and just using my scissors, we're going to do a couple little swervy lines, and then we're going to cut a straight edge after that. And then we're going to take our last piece and cut another swervy line. So what this does is creates 3 snowy hill banks for our projects. With this piece, we're only going to create 2 hill banks, snowy snowbanks, and we're going to go lengthwise. So those are a little bit longer. So that's all the cutting we're going to do with the cardstock. We're going to set these aside and jump into card number 1. For card number 1, we're going to use our green piece strip here. I'm going to add adhesive behind it. Originally, I was going to just add it to the left of my card front, but I changed my mind. We're going to actually fishtail the end, which means we're going to cut out a notch on the very bottom, creating like a little banner. And then it was too long for my card, so we're going to cut about a 1-inch strip off the very top. Now keep that 1-inch strip because we're going to use it for our next card. We're not going to waste that little piece. We're going to add this to the very top of our card, just taping it down. And then next, we are going to grab our Santa. Santa's in 2 pieces because he's a dancing Santa. So easy to put him together. All you do is take one of your foam squares, add it, add your Santa legs, place the foam square in that circle on the very bottom part of his body, remove the release paper, and then tack down the upper part. If you want to reinforce Santa and add extra foam squares, you have plenty to do that. I find the foam squares tack down pretty well, so 1 worked great for me, but if you want reinforcements, they're there to use. After we have our top part of our Santa, we're going to add our sentiment, and this is a word bubble that says ho ho ho, Merry Christmas. So Santa's talking here. And don't you love how his legs just shake? I think it's so cute. Now I'm bringing in a black gel pen. If you use a black marker, it would work too, but I like to add stitch detail on the inside of my banner just for a little added something. You can skip this step if you wanted to. I did add a few of the fashion silver embellishments just above the right of Santa's head, and that was it. Card number 1. Now we're on to card number 2. We're going to add our long snowbank to the very bottom of our card base. We're just taping that down. Once this is taped down, we're going to bring in our little reindeer that's holding a candy cane, and he is so cute. We're going to add our bottom piece with a foam square in the center of that circle. And then we're just going to tap the top portion of our reindeer over the legs here. It's kind of hard to catch, but they really do move. It's so cute. Okay, now we're going to add our sentiment that says Merry Christmas. It's the blue one that says Merry Christmas. We'll just pop that up with some foam adhesive. And next we have that little strip of green that we used in our previous card. We're going to take that and we're going to create a Christmas tree. So we're going to basically create a triangle. So we're cutting it on the left and the right to make a large triangle tree. And then we're going to take the left and right pieces and trim them down. This is going to be a smaller triangle, and then this is going to be a tall, skinny triangle. So we're just trimming a little bit off the edges. So we have 3 Christmas trees with that one little piece of green cardstock that's left over. I'm going to take the tall, skinny one, and we're going to tuck that inside the snowbank right next to the reindeer here. And then we're going to take the short, small one, and we're going to tuck that in the snowbank here, but we're going to put this a little bit more towards the right. And then we're going to take our large Christmas tree, add some tape behind it, and place that just a little bit lower, directly on the snowbank here. Now we are going to add some stars. The stars came in the die cut pack. We're going to add a dark green one to this tree, a light green one just below the sentiment, and then we're going to add our red one on the big tree. The red one's going to stand out because we're going to add some embellishments to that tree. We're going to add 7 of the smallest of the fashion silver gems. So we have a decorated Christmas tree on that one. And then that finishes our second card. Pretty easy peasy. You guys following along so far? But I love those little dancing reindeer. Super cute. Okay, for our next card, we are going to create a dancing elf card. So I'm taking one of the blue cardstock pieces, and we're going to add a smaller snowbank to the very bottom of that piece. Just taping it down with our tape runner, and then we'll take our tape runner and add this to the center of our card base. Next, we're going to build our dancing elf for this card. I did take the Merry Christmas banner, and we're directly adhering that on the seam of our snowbank there. Add the bottom piece of our elf, making sure he's centered. We'll remove the release paper off of our foam square and then add our top half. We're going to raise him up just a little bit. And again, if you want to add more foam squares behind the top part of the body, you could. You just don't want to put it towards the lower part because then he can't move. We're going to add the sentiment and the word bubble that says "Believe in the Magic." And then we're going to take 6 of the stars in different colors, and we're going to add foam adhesive behind each one of them. We'll add 3 to the bottom right, and then we're going to add 3 to the top left. For finishing touches for this guy, all we are going to do is bring in those fashion silver embellishments, and we're going to add the medium silver embellishments to the buttons of our elf, just to make them a little bit dimensional and a little bit of sparkle there. And that finishes off that one. So cute. Okay, our next card, we're going to use our brown cardstock. We're going to take one of those panels and add it to the top left of our card base. We're creating a two-tone, kind of our own little pattern here. Once that's taped down, we're going to go ahead and grab Santa. Now the Santa that I'm going to be using is the one that is the full size. He's not a dancing Santa. You get one of those in the kit. He's going to be standing on our sentiment that says Merry Christmas. So I wanted to add a little dimension to that by adding foam squares to that Merry Christmas. We're going to place it on the very bottom of our panel so Santa has some place to stand. And then we'll go ahead and add foam adhesive behind Santa and place him on our sentiment. We're going to take the word bubble that says ho ho ho, Merry Christmas, it's the red one, and I'm going to add that on the top left of the card base. Now I wanted it overhanging just a little bit, so I'm cutting off a straight edge just a little bit, just so it's not overhanging on that word bubble there. Now I thought we would add a little embellishment to the seam lines that's separating the brown cardstock from the white. To do that, we're going to use the large and the medium fashion silver embellishments. We're just alternating small and medium, and that will finish that card. Next card, this one's a pretty easy one. We're going to take our smaller snowbank and we're going to add that to our red strip of cardstock. I'm going to just place it all the way on the bottom. And then I have a little bit of excess snowbank overhanging. We're going to trim that off. And then this is going to go a little bit towards the right of our panel. I'm just going to tape it down with a tape runner. And then I did go ahead and used my black gel pen and added some faux stitching, which were basically just dashed lines on the left and right of that panel that we just adhered. Now for this card, we're just going to use the solid reindeer. We're going to add him in the red area, and then I took all those sentiment bubbles or word bubbles and placed them kind of in a C shape around that reindeer. And I think it looked so cute with all those bright colors. I did add foam adhesive behind each one of those word bubbles too. But that finishes off that card. Love the way how festive that turns out. Okay, next card, we're going to use the green strip of cardstock. I'm going to cut it in half, making one a little bit bigger than the other. One's about 1 inch in width, and then the other one is like 1.5 inches, maybe a little bit smaller. I'm going to add one to the left of my card front and one to the right. And then we're going to add our little elf here. This is the solid elf. It's not a dancing elf. We're going to add him to the bottom. And then next we're going to take the season's greetings sentiment and we're going to just trim it in half. I'm going to go ahead and add tape behind our seasons and add that, butting it up all the way against that green cardstock on the right here. And then we're going to do the same thing with our greetings, butting up all the way to the left side of our green panel there. Next we're going to add the sentiment bubble or word bubble that says believe in the magic. I did add foam adhesive behind that. And then we're going to add some stars. We're going to add 3 to the bottom and then 3 to the top. And then we're going to add these silver embellishments. Since they come in different sizes and we have different sizes of stars, we're going to add a gem to each one of those. And then also we're going to embellish the cap of our little elf with the larger one, and then the buttons of our elf with the smaller ones. And then that is that card. Okay, next up we have our last piece of blue cardstock. I'm going to adhere our snowbank. We're going to actually kind of elongate this piece, kind of stretch it out. To do that, we're going to add tape behind this piece, add this all the way to the top in the center of our card base here. And then with this piece, we're going to cover the seam with that snowbank. I need to trim off just a little bit so it's the same width. And we'll just tape this down. So now this goes the length of our card base. For this card, we're going to create a dancing reindeer. So I'm going to go ahead and add the body of the reindeer. Place it first and then add a foam square in that little circle. We'll remove the release paper and add the top half of our reindeer. So cute. Now next we are going to add our sentiment. We're going to use Merry Christmas. I'm going to use my tape runner and add adhesive behind it. This one we're going to have the banner that's hanging over the card all the way on the left. We're going to trim off the tails of that banner. Next we're going to trim off the word bubble end, and then we're going to add the Merry Christmas just above the Merry Christmas there. We did add foam adhesive behind that so it's popped up. Next we're going to add some stars. For this card we're going to use all the blue stars, and then we are going to use one red star for that Merry Christmas. And then we're going to add quite a few of the fashion silver embellishments just above the star cluster on the top left and then to the bottom right. Now when I added my sentiment and the stars next to my dancing reindeer, it kind of constricted him so he's not dancing kind of crazy. He's subdued a little bit with those embellishments there. Okay, next card, we're going to take our red strip and I cut it in half. We're going to place one of those halves on the bottom left, and then we're going to place one of the other, our second half on the top right. We're going to create a checkerboard pattern here. Okay, next we're going to add our Santa, or dancing Santa. We're going to add the body first. We're going to grab one of those foam squares, and then we're going to just tap the top part of our Santa right on top. Okay, next we're going to add our season's greetings right below Santa. We're going to use our tape runner just to adhere that. And then we're going to add some sentiment up here that says, yay, Christmas is here. I am going to trim off the left side of that sentiment so it's next to the edge of the card base. And then we're going to add some more stars. We're going to add 3 of them just above the season's greetings. I'm using foam adhesive, and again, when you do this, it does kind of constrict, sorry about that, it does kind of constrict Santa to where his legs aren't moving to the right. So if you wanted to move those up a little bit, you could. I did add embellishments to Santa's belt buckle with the smallest of the silver embellishments, and that was that card. Okay, we're moving on to our next card. I'm taking our last brown triangle piece, and I added a wavy line on the bottom. This is going to serve kind of as dual purpose. We're going to make a landscape style card. I'm adding adhesive behind this triangle, and then we're going to place it on our card base. Now you can see what this does when you add that swirly line. It kind of creates a snowbank with a mountain. Super easy to do. I'm going to trim off the brown cardstock that's overhanging, and then we're going to add 2 dancing elements. We're going to add a dancing Santa and a dancing elf. First, our Santa is going to be to the left, and he's going to overhang a little bit. No worries, we'll just trim off the excess so he can fit in the envelope. And then we'll add our dancing elf right next to him. We're going to scoot him over just a little bit so these guys can dance away. I did add a thought bubble or word bubble that says "Yay, Christmas is here," and then I'm going to add 3 of the green stars right in between Santa and the elf. And I'm just using my tape runner. With the tape runner, you want to kind of fold over the adhesive so it's not showing. Once those are added, all we have to do is add a few of the silver embellishments to our little elf's buttons. And that finishes off our 9th card. Now for our final card today, all we have left basically is a dancing elf and a dancing reindeer. We have our long snowbank, which we're going to adhere to the bottom of our card. We should have a green season's greetings left over, and then we should have 4 stars. We're going to add our dancing elf to the left, and then dancing reindeer to the right. We're going to add their bodies first, and then we just tap their top parts right over the top. We're going to go ahead and add our season's greetings. Just use the tape runner and adhere that just above them, and then we'll grab our little stars. Now the stars I want to add foam adhesive behind, and we're going to tuck them under the hands of our elf and our reindeers. We're going to do 2 on the elf and then 2 on the reindeer, kind of coordinating the colors with them. We're going to add a green one here. Tuck that under the blue, and then we'll add a red one just above the green star there. And then we still have lots of the fashion silver embellishments left over, so we're going to add some buttons to our elf, and then we're going to add one of the larger ones to our elf hat, and then we're going to add 3 just above to the right of our sentiment here. And then that finishes off our 10th card. Pretty easy, guys, to create some fun Christmas cards. So here's a look at all of the 10 cards that I made with the Santa and Friends beginner card kit. My goodness, I think this is so fun. And I'm not a beginner, I'm kind of a seasoned card maker, but I love kits like this because they're great for travel. And I think this is a super fun kit. I'll link it down below if you guys want to go check it out. I hope this, if you do get the kit, and I hope this gives you some inspiration on how to use the elements of the kit. But I love the dancing elements. I think they're super duper cute. Real playful. I think they make great Christmas cards, and they're really not too bulky for sending in the mail. But those are all 10, and then we have lots of leftover. We have our envelopes for mailing, which makes it really nice. We have that piece of colored cardstock. I'm not sure if you guys are going to get the same color. That's why I didn't use that. Lots of fashion silver embellishments, lots of foam squares, and of course still lots of adhesive in your tape runner. So this is the card kit. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. I wish you a fabulous day, and we will see you again real soon. Bye-bye.